And we have so much to talk about and discuss, but I do need to, before I turn off the Discord, just pull up 2 charts over here to build off what we were talking about over the last few sessions. And that was on Ethereum, being careful and watch out for a potential peak to wave 1. Sure looks like that's what happened. We're going to put up the repairs and we'll look to get out of this. Only we're not in a rush here. Time is on our side. Everything looking nice and with range. I don't know what happens this cycle. Let's move over to the professor a little bit forward over here. We're seeing something different taking place this cycle. Do you see this this in light green is the cross of Ethereum Bitcoin 4 years ago, right? And then in dark red, it's currently. This area over here that became pink, you could see that strong deviation between what was happening 4 years ago. Now I want to move over to here. And I'll start with the professors. You know, he's saying, look, Ethereum is getting close to its previous mid-cycle all-time high. Here in red in 2020 is wave 1 of that mid-cycle high over there. And Ethereum is now coming close to that point once again, as it did 4 years ago in the 2016 cycle. Do we see that stall for a few months as it did in 2016? Or will it continue to be bullish and move up from its highs? In the way that we first consult Bitcoin and its 4-year cycle, the rising tide to lift all boats, we understand the 2 waves of alt seasons around Bitcoin's bull market phase, the alt season starting approximately 6 months after the halving. We're also consulting Ethereum right now for what we deem to be the path of alts this season, and that includes whether or not they peak after Bitcoin by a few weeks, as they did 4 years earlier, whether or not they peak at the same time this year, or whether or not we see Ethereum move into its own news cycle. Raoul Pal is very clear that he expects, most likely, buy the rumors, sell the news, into Ethereum 2.0. Now that could mean that you have at the cycle peak of Ethereum, if we see it peak around the same time as Bitcoin, a lot of people who will not take profit on Ethereum. That will be massive. That provides massive juice for the coming bear market. A lot of people stuck, forced toddlers. Listen, you have to be aware for everything. Given the changes in the cycle, as mentioned by Brandon and Alan P., I have to go back to this video. I find all this stuff and these conversations fascinating. And in this video, it was mentioned, we're now seeing on the upgrade to EIP 1559, as all the fees, all right, are being burnt now. You're seeing that deflationary aspect take place. You're also seeing about only 11% of available supply on, is it 9%? I don't know. It's 9 or 11% roughly I think it's 11% of Ethereum available on exchanges. The rest is being locked up for staking, for yield. Are we seeing something different because of that? Ian is leaning towards, I see it acting more bullish this cycle rather than waiting until late November for its break back above the past all-time high. You could see that is in last cycle, price came up. This is right here in green, okay? Ethereum 2016, price made the all-time high, then had the mid-cycle shakeout, came up and tested it, and then you could see this long consolidation, almost 2 months before price made its new all-time high again and moved up again. Ian is leaning because of what we're seeing taking place on Ethereum, pointed out by Brandon and Alan. The deflationary aspect this time is different, that we're not going to see it consolidate that sideways for that long, and maybe even, continue to follow the projected 2016 cycle it's been aligned with so well. Let's see what happens at the top of the wave 1 over here. Whether or not, Ethereum has a massive pullback as Bitcoin did in 2016. It was a 39% pullback. Or let's see if it's shallower. Either way, we're getting very close to where Ethereum should be peaking right now. Let me try to pull it up. So many windows, so much information. Hold on one second. I want to find it. Ian, again, the professor showing us as Ethereum is coming up. It's possible and potential. It's getting close right now. I would say it's very much like turning orange, turning red towards that hot zone where we could potentially be seeing the peak of wave 1 of Ethereum. We watch it on the charts. So if we go over to Ethereum, we could see that, you had the sell impulse. No question about that. And how beautiful is that? As price is coming into what looks like the peak of wave one, letting everyone know, be on alert. It looks like price is reaching that peak of wave one on Ethereum. And then throwing down the TA, showing where that trend line was for that first sell impulse. That, by the way, is how quickly it's all going to happen. The cycle peak. It's going to be that quick. Those that are watching will know ahead of time how to do it, how to get out for many different reasons. So where do we pick up from that? That was, by the way, we are looking at a 25% drawdown from that high until that low. So far, we don't know whether or not this is bottomed out. What do I mean by that? Well, the correction has just begun. We're seeing the top of wave one here. We're seeing the top of wave one, and then so far 25% drawdown. You can see the trend line. This was, we had it as a yellow dotted line to signify the importance of it. After the sell impulse triggered way up here, you see then the test and break of the trend line. Price so far has, here's the breakdown, coming in for a retest. It's retesting right now. If you see a resumption off of this, we should see more pressure. Not only that, at that point, it's quite possible that we take out that low and that we trade lower. It's also just as possible we go up right now. But here's what we know. You know, if we do resume down, I will then draw in what is the first line of repair. That's assuming price comes down over here and makes a lower low. Depending on where it bottoms out with a lower high, you know, or not taking those out, we don't know. But I do know that once price takes out that first line of repair, that trend line, I will draw in. At that point, that's going to give us the best risk to reward. Possibly, we don't know. Price from here could continue trading up. It could get back above this broken trend line. That would be much more bullish in nature, in structure. If price were able to recover against that trend line, that would speak to the bullishness and the bullish nature of this last phase of Ethereum's bull market. And I say that with the one asterisk, and that's to watch the price action at the top. It is quite possible, you know, for reasons explained earlier in this video, that Ethereum continues to run and run past Bitcoin. We will continue to track it. We'll continue to track it. If you see this trend line hold, right, this support over here, again over here into late August. Once it broke, we're looking for that now to be resistance. This is the test of that resistance right now, that broken support as resistance. If this is to hold and we resume off, there's more pressure. The CTM meta model showing that there could be pressure into next week. You know, this was right on time. We were all over it. I hope that you are able to get into the flow and see clearly what gives you the greatest edge, and that's price and price alone. It's our TA around that gives us the greatest edge. The cycle awareness, where we are, what's going on in the space, putting that fundamentals behind the technicals. It's a really beautiful sauce. I like to call it awesome sauce. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Hey, please go ahead and help support the channel by smashing that like button. And if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe for more. And to everyone else, I hope you have a beautiful day.